Roddy, I'm really excited you're joining us. We are making challah in 3 or 4 easy steps. The easy thing to do, if you like, is to just get Pillsbury, French bread, popping fresh dough, Pillsbury. This is parve according to ingredients. It's non-dairy, suitable for a meat or dairy meal within Jewish tradition. And this is a very simple way of making a quick round challah that can be very sweet for Rosh Hashanah. Very simple. So it's just a French bread, canister Pillsbury. And as I said, it's available at a local grocery store, obviously. And you need one of these per person if you want to make a little round of challah for a child or with a child. You might enjoy adding raisins, cinnamon and sugar, honey. Raisins, cinnamon and sugar, honey. You will need 1 egg. Raisins, and then you take a little bit of cinnamon and sugar mixed together and you'll make a cinnamon sugar, an egg, and a little bit of honey. And so you start one way, open the canister, and you just have a long strand. You kind of stretch this out. I call it a snake. Just stretch the snake out. Stretch, stretch, stretch it, stretch it. You can stretch it for a distance. Stretch it, stretch it, stretch it. And then place it down on your surface. And you'll probably see a seam. And just separate along the seam. You like make a little channel, you might say. I'll show you. I'll get my camera here in a moment after I make the channel. Make a channel along the length of the snake. Allow me a moment and I'll show you the channel that I've made. So you can see, oops, sorry, I just made an indentation, a little channel along the length of this bread. And then, if you want, you can just add some raisins. Raisins are obviously delicious and sweet, and raisins are fun, and it's easy for the kids to add some raisins. Not too many, because you do want to be able to close up the seam. Maybe a couple more. And I took some cinnamon and some sugar and mixed it together in a bowl. And then just take a pinch and drop it along the top of the raisins inside the channel which you've created. A little pinch. Because cinnamon and sugar are good for Rosh Hashanah. And then you need to just close it up along the seam. And you just close it up. So let me see if I can balance my camera here. No, I'm gonna have trouble with that. So, well, you just have to close up the seam, just pinch it closed, squeezing the raisins inside the snake, you might call it. I call it a snake. It's going to take a minute to just pinch it closed. By the way, my wife Minette gets the credit for helping me with this. I wanted a quick and easy recipe for kids to enjoy making for Rosh Hashanah, and Minette came up with this idea. So kudos to Minette. You know, somewhat pinched. I'm going to close the coil. Now, just coil it. Allow me a moment. Just coiled it. Obviously, just coiled it. Almost finished. Now, take an egg and scramble an egg. This is called making an egg wash. Stir up an egg and add a little bit of honey. Almost measure it, not really, maybe half a teaspoon, maybe a teaspoon of honey, not really a big deal. But this is an egg wash, and you want it fully scrambled, and you want to incorporate the honey all the way in the egg mixture. And then just spoon a little bit of the egg wash on top of the dough. Maybe a little bit along the side of the challah, the pinwheel. That's the word, it's a pinwheel. So there you have it. Oops, there you go. So it's yellowish, that's the egg wash. And I'm gonna do something else too, just for the fun of it. I have an extra canister. And again, this is Minette's idea. Great idea. For next time, if you're interested, another canister. And I preheated the oven. You know, it's always what I do to preheat the oven. And so here's my snake. Here's my snake. And again, I'm stretching out. I'm going to do something different though with this second one. Something different. Fairly long, stretched out, obviously, fairly long. I'm going to grab it in the middle. Grab it in the middle. And you see that it's just hanging down. I'm going to stretch it a little bit. Stretch. And stretch. Stretch. And if you want raisins again, you can put raisins in the center. I'm going to do this without raisins, but I'm just holding it like this. And I'm going to twist. Just twist in the air, because I can. It's fun. And then I'm just twisting it. And then I'm going to put it down again on the baking sheet that I've got. And you see that it's, oops, sorry. Ooh, where am I? There it goes. Okay. It just looks a little bit different, a bit more like a mountain or a mound. And a little bit of egg wash, like we said before. Mix a little bit of honey in. Where am I? A little bit of egg wash. It'll add a little bit of sparkle to it. It'll shine it up a little bit once we finish baking. And again, for fun, where's my camera? little bit of cinnamon sugar. And again, I could have put raisins in this, but I chose not to, just for the sake of differentness or variety, you might say. And I'll bake this. Directions. Sorry, I'm losing my scope here. There it is. So I'm going to bake this. Directions are 25 or so minutes. Just follow the label directions. And you'll see one that I just made a few minutes ago. It's a small one, not the twist, but it just came out of the oven a moment ago. And that's the glaze on it, the egg wash. That's the one that's got raisins in it. So that's the equivalent of the small challah. So I'm going to call it a day because we all have things to do to get ready for Rosh Hashanah. But I'm really happy that you joined in, and hopefully you will enjoy baking these little round challah for yourselves or your families, or simple enough, you could actually make one or two round ones and take them to friends. You could make a few in anticipation of Rosh Hashanah and leading up to Yom Kippur. And this year, which is 2021, 5782, Rosh Hashanah begins Monday night. Rosh Hashanah is Monday night the 6th, and Tuesday the 7th, and Wednesday the 8th. And any meals at all during Rosh Hashanah are certainly enjoyed, and having a round challah would be a tasty treat for, again, Monday night, and any meal at all during Tuesday and during Wednesday, which both are Rosh Hashanah. And then Yom Kippur, as you know, comes in, again, we're in the year 2021. It comes in on Wednesday the 15th. And of course, we don't eat on Yom Kippur, but if you're eating a meal before, and it's customary to have an enjoyable family gathering the night during which Kol Nidre begins, which would be Wednesday, September 15th, prior to sundown. Mobile time, it's going to be, finish eating by 6:30 or 6:45 p.m. And if you wish to have a round challah or two for your family or your friends, it's certainly appropriate. And any time in between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. And in these days of COVID, you might even consider, if it's something that speaks to you, to make a small round challah or two and deliver them to somebody who doesn't have family or friends nearby and who may not be getting out. And you have the capacity to add a great deal of sweetness to this year. And from my heart to yours, may you and your families be inscribed with sweetness, with good health, with love and joy, a little bit of extra patience, because this year is going to be stressed, as we've all seen, and the confidence that you are deeply loved by the synagogue, by me, by God, and that you matter a great deal. L'shana tova u'tuka, a happy, sweet, healthy new year. Until we see each other, lehitrot.